I'm going to give you a quick video on something that might be a good tip. Actually, I ruined the first seal I bought. I bought two seals, crank seals from Jim's, which is the good ones. And it looked like it was going in straight, but it wasn't. So what I wound up doing, I probably could have fixed this too, but I'm not going to because it could still leak it if I try to fix it. See, I bent it a little bit. The second one's in there fine. What I did was I went around the edge of this, and you could see it looks like he made a little bit of a chamfer on the part itself, but I made a little more of a chamfer on it, just on the very edge, and got it in there. So that's something you might want to do when you're installing these, get a little bit of a chamfer on there. So I also had this tool here, which is not even for seal driver, but it worked perfect. Fits over the seal absolutely perfect. It's like some kind of ball joint kit I bought a while ago, but it fits on the seal absolutely perfect. So got it in there. Also want to mention something real quick. When I put the Barnett extra plate clutch kit in here, which it removes that that spring pack, whatever the hell you call that thing that's in the middle of the clutch, it sometimes can be a problem. It also gives you a lot more gripping power. The very first time I installed it, it was like ridiculous. It was like, it wasn't even like a half a thousandth I needed more to get the spring in there after I was compressing everything. But now that I got like 300 miles on the bike, it went in fine. You know, just enough room, it just went right in there fine. Also want to point out that when you're tightening up these bolts going around the primary, I have like an inch-pounds torque wrench, but it's kind of graduated, like, you know, 50, it's like one little mark, and it goes to 100. This one I picked up from it's like a piano tuner owned this. It's made in USA. You know, it's used, but it's in perfect condition. It's a beam style. You can notice it's got two beams on it. Most of the ones they sell you, like this 1/4 inch drive, they only go up to 80 inch-pounds. So the torque on this is 90 to 110 inch-pounds on these bolts over here. So, you know, this one will do up to 200. Perfect little tool. And you know, I want to point out, I'm stashing tools, some stuff I don't even use much. This is metric deep sockets. These are a bunch of adapters for like 1/4 inch to 1 inch drive, 1 inch to 3/4, and I mean 3/4 to 1, and vice versa. These are SAE, huge sockets I don't hardly ever use. I think I used it one time, a couple times. Then I got this. This is made in China. It's another beam style wrench. So you got 135.6 Newton meters equals 100 foot-pounds. So I've made marks on it, see? Boom, boom. That's 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, right? So you just do a formula, but I paid like 35 bucks for this beam style thing. Try to find a torque wrench that goes up that high for that kind of price. You know, because usually the 1/2 inch drive torque wrenches, they're limited to about 150, and you can go a little further than that, kind of just ground them out. But if you're going like 250 foot-pounds, you need something like this. This should actually probably put a pipe on it. But even though it's made in China, some of the simple stuff that's made in China, you know, it says, you know, it's like all chrome moly stuff and everything, probably will last, because I was surprised. I was pulling out this feeler gauge. I've had this easy 50 years. Did 8 million tune-ups with this thing. I think the points you'd set them at like somewhere between 16 and 19 most of the time. You can still read it, you know. And you know what it says on it? Well, it's on here someplace. Made in China, somewhere. Made in freaking China. That surprised me, from over 50 years ago. So, guess what? You know, I'm thinking with the exchange rate and all that kind of garbage like that, you know, it might change. All this cheap stuff that's in China, you're not going to be able to get it anymore. Yeah, see right there, China. And this thing still works, you know, even though it's ancient. This actually even had the brass 8,000th one. I think that was for like Chrysler reluctors. That had to be non-magnetic under their ignition systems. So, you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm just throwing that in this video. I'm kind of just stashing stuff like this, tools and junk like that, because you know, guys like me we're a rare breed. You know, I'm not a professional mechanic, but you know, I'm gonna tell you, I know how to do shit. I did the just put the hammer pistons in there and stuff like that, the 1250 kit. Did the lifters and junk. You know, pretty much do everything on the bikes. The only thing I don't know how to do is the bottom end. But this has got an S&S bottom end on it, so yeah. Look, it was really tight when I checked it last time, like 6 months ago when I had the pistons out. So, and I got this wonderful oil filter on here, a real good kind. Anyway, that's all I got to wrap for. So just remember, you know, you got to keep all these little tricks in mind, and they're not written in the books. And keep stashing tools, man, even if they're made in China, because that Craftsman set there, that's ancient. I use that all the time. It's a little kit. I got a bunch of tools, man. That's made in USA. That's made in USA. I like that one because it's like small. Just grab it. A lot of stuff I got is made in USA, but it's almost impossible to get that now. Anyway, over and out.